Iran was using some sophisticated technology in this last attack. I was watching Al Jazeera live, and I've never seen missiles that did this. It seems like they had two types of uh, energy devices on the missiles. The first one had one speed, right? It was coming in, and when it got close to its target, it seemed like it detached, and another level of missile projected out of it at like warp speed. And I saw that multiple times live on Al Jazeera, and I haven't seen anyone else talk about it. Literally, you can see it right in the videos where the missiles are going, and when it gets close to its target, or another missile just projects out even at 10 times, 1,000 times faster than the already going fast projectile. And I was like, wow, that is some crazy stuff. Um, and what does that mean? Well, when it comes to real estate, as I'm driving down the street every day, I am seeing more houses for sale down the same street. And I ask yourself, do you see that? And some of you will say, no, Mike, I'm not seeing that. Well, because you're not having awareness of it. Now, think about that I told you that as you drive down for the next week or two, be conscious about the awareness and see if you are seeing multiple houses for sale down the street. Coming back to hyperinflation, dude, we do have hyperinflation. When egg was $3 and now it's $16 or $13, depending what's healthy store you go to for organic egg. Well, dude, that is hyperinflation. Just because Big Brother is lying about it in their CPI doesn't mean that I have to take their word for it. Okay, I can just go to the grocery store, and so hyperinflation is just the beginning part. The party is just beginning. There's a lot more coming. This is why I said many moons ago, this is the Titanic. Everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid, the wine, they're dancing, they're buying Bitcoin, and they're doing refinancing, and they're just getting into more debt and whatever. They're just having a good time, right? Not realizing that the ship is sinking. The ship is sinking in multiple dimensions, from the petrodollar all the way down to the banking system, all the way down to you and me, where everything's getting more expensive. Okay. Now, what else does that mean for you and me? Well, that means for you and me is that you're going to have to work harder. Your mother's going to have to work harder. Your grandparents going to have to work harder. The people that retired have to work, get a second job now. That means there's probably not going to be Social Security for you. There's probably not going to be Medicare for you, and it's all bust. Okay, they may give you a certain amount of money, but you're not going to get anything at the end of it. And this is the status of our economy. Why are we in this situation? Well, pretty simple. Endless wars. You have two individuals coming to America and asking billions of dollars, and they both get it. Both countries. $6 billion for you, $6 billion for you. Forget about that. We're having a hurricane in our own country where citizens have to go bail out other citizens because Big Brother's not coming to rescue. Forget about that. We have millions of people in prisons, millions of people on the streets, millions of retirees to have fixed incomes that they can't pay. You have 45, almost 50,000 employees going on strikes because they're seeing their corporate handlers making so much profits, but not them. So this is where we are today, where corporate is over you and me, the people, and they're sucking us dry in all directions, from hyperinflation through taxation, and so on and so on. So what is the good news? Well, the good news is that we are going to get one of the deepest, ugliest depressions America's ever seen in our economy, which is going to create opportunity to buy stuff at 50 cents, 40 cents on a dollar, from real estate to commercial. You're already seeing it, right? And even in the stock market. But the bad news is, I don't even know if that stuff is going to be worth anything when the mushroom cloud pops off. And if you don't think the mushroom cloud is popping off, that's because you're just watching the American controlled media. You're watching the Western media. It's all owned by a handful of family members or corporations, and they narrate what you believe. Okay, if you're not seeking information away from those main vampires of information giving, which is basically lies of the empire, then you're not getting the real fact. For a true citizen, you cannot be listening to the corporate America media narrative and believing that, because if you do, you're just a sheep, dude, and they're using you to be their dreams, you know. And when I say who be their dreams, is through blood of innocent kids and children, and you know, dictatorship around the world. You know, we want democracy here, but we want terror around the world, and you know, and the world's starting to realize that. I mean, so many of the world's population, just look at Netanyahu's last speech at the UN, where half the population of the world just walked away from that, right? So we're definitely at dangerous times, but again, with the chaos creates the biggest opportunity. You know, if the mushroom cloud never happens, then there's going to be massive opportunities. I mean, think about all the people that are getting behind in their payments right now. Think about all the people that can't afford their house anymore. Think about all the people that I showed you when I went to a storage unit and they were getting locked out because they couldn't pay their storage facility, just back to back to back, okay? So, you know, there is great news about it, you know, because when there is chaos, when there's blood in the streets, that's when the opportunity is. But, you know, the amount of blood and the level of, you know, blood for that opportunity, I just not sure if it's worth it. You know what I mean? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. But you know, the way I see things, in my opinion, on financial advice is, man, this is the beginning of the pain. You know, there's a lot more coming. This is just the tips of it. The Titanic is sinking, and most people are not realizing what's going on because, you know, it's scary. I was at the coffee shop just yesterday, and I'm sitting and drinking my coffee, and there's a young, older lady behind me and talking to some friend of hers, and she was just talking on about, like, you know, how she's not getting prepared because her family members in the FBI and they're very high, and they said that if the nukes fly, there's no chance of survival, and she's not getting prepared, and because there's no chance. And I thought to myself, this is exactly what Canadian preppers said, that a lot of people are just going to give up and not even going to even pretend that, you know, if it hits, there's still chance to survive, right? And they're giving up. And she also is just going on and on, like, she doesn't understand why all these people want to kill us in America and why they want to attack Israel. And I'm like, well, lady, because you're plugged into the programming. If you stop listening to the Western media and take a little bit of time to listen to all the other countries around the world's media in English, then you have a better understanding and to formulate an opinion. But instead, you're not being able to formulate an opinion because you're being fed that information from a biased corporation that don't give a rat's about you. You know what I mean? And that's why you can't formulate it. And because probably your family works for Big Brother and you brainwashed, and that's simply it. What do you mean you don't understand why people don't like us? Because look what we're doing. We're contributing to the genocide. We're contributing to millions of kids getting killed, and nothing is being done. I mean, the world is not stupid. I mean, even if you have just 2 brain cells, you can add it together, dude. Just 2 brain cells. You know what I mean? What is really going on? You know, why we have so much debt as we do, and why are we overthrowing so many countries as we do, and why are we doing kinetic energy in all these different countries as we do, and why do we continue to do that, right? And why do we sell lies back at home saying, you know, we're here for democracy and for people's rights, when we're just euthanizing these people versus giving them rights? You know what I mean? But, you know, why do we have a two-face? Like, why do we say, like, we're like multipolar? We're saying this, but we're doing this. You know what I mean? And the world, you know, even how naive they are, how poor they are, or how uneducated we think other countries are, it doesn't take a smart individual to realize a two-faced individual, right? You know, someone that says they're going to go left, but they keep going right. You know what I mean? It's pretty obvious. So, yes, there's a lot of opportunity, but yes, there's going to be a lot of suffering, and, you know, because we're all connected. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, we're all connected, and with all the bombs being dropped, it doesn't help anyone. It just hurts us at home with inflation, hyperinflation. People have to have 2, 3, 4 jobs. Mother has to work. Their kids got to work now, all the way back to the third world countries where the bombs are being shelled. The only winners are corporate America and the military complex, and, you know, few countries that are being the sugar daddies of America, where they're getting $6 billion each every time they come here. You know what I mean? $6 billion when Social Security is bankrupt, when welfare, look, the streets have potholes in them. You know what I mean? But I might be wrong. What do you think? Do you think that we should be using this money, the $12 billion we just give out to in America? Or do you think we should just be sending it out to bomb people that make less than $1 a day? And then kill their kids and their grandparents for someone's narrative, you know, because the truth has been silenced. This is why they killed RT. This is why they killed Al Jazeera. This is why they're cutting people off of YouTube. This is why if you tell the truth, you get sandboxed. And this is the reality of it, ladies and gentlemen, because they want the programming to be the programming. And guess what? I was part of the programming myself, so I disconnected from it and started listening to a variety of different information that I don't even think is right, and listen to it even though I had a bias against it, till I start making my own opinions, right? Because that's how really true thinking happens, is by listening to everyone's point of views, not just, you know, your kind. Anyways, guys, much love to you. Don't take no for an answer. Peace.